Hi guys, it's Amy with Thing to Plan, and I am here setting up my personal catch-all planner and my social media planner for July 2022 until pretty much December 2023. So I wanted to be able to set up pretty much the next 18 months so that way I am prepared for the rest of 2022 as well as 2023. As you know, I am a Franken planner and I like to be able to put together all of my supplies in a way that makes sense to me. For me, I actually didn't purchase any 18-month planners. And so even though July is rolling around, a lot of people do kind of switch up their system. I will probably not be switching up my system. I will really just be adapting my system so that way I can use some of the supplies that I do have. And really, this is more so planning for 2023. It's just nice to start with July 2022 since that's kind of how the Happy Planner does it. As you know, if you follow along on my channel, I don't actually use all 18 months of any single planner. And so I break it up, I put pieces together. Every month I might change my mind and switch into a wholly different system, and that is totally fine for me. But what that means is that I do have a lot of different supplies just kind of laying around waiting to be used. And so what I'm gonna do is, like you can see, I have a whole stack here of these are dividers. And then I have here some extra pages, and I'll talk you through like pretty much all of that in just a second. But I wanted to go ahead and show you my catch-all and my social media planner. So in a previous video, it's probably a couple of videos ago, I talked about how starting now in June, I moved into a Big Happy Planner, and I anticipate staying in the Big Happy Planner for basically all of 2022. I was able to find a set of daily pages that have been working out excellently for me. And so what that means is I will really kind of be retiring the classic size personal catch-all that I was using. And then I also realized because of like going into daily pages, I don't really need like an additional like social media planner. I have enough room in a big size to be able to kind of have these two sections of my life be combined. I know there are some content creators who do it full time, but for me, it's just a hobby. I like to record videos just for fun, just so that way you can see what my thought process is. And so this is really just me combining these two things because it makes sense for me. Like my YouTube is a hobby for me. Planning is a hobby for me. I do it when I can. I do it because I enjoy it. And so I think that it just makes sense to go together in my personal catch-all. And I feel like sometimes I do need more like additional pages for my social media planner, but that kind of comes and goes, right? So I don't need a dedicated like 12-month planner for social media. And I can just do it day by day or week by week. So with that being said, then let me just show you what I have been using, what the setup was starting in January of 2022, what I've been using for the past several months. And again, this is off and on. I don't always use this, but this is what I have tried to come back to if I needed. And so with my personal catch-all, this is a random cover, a random set of discs. I like to mix and match my discs and my covers all the time. But what's inside here is the Mickey and Minnie. I don't actually know the name of it, but it was from Walmart. It was a gift that I received from one of my nieces. I did use it for the past, actually I didn't use it in June, but I used it from January until May. And you know, it was really kind of, I have to be honest, it was a little bit forced for me to try to use a weekly on top of using daily pages. I am personally just a daily planner. And so I'm just going to go ahead and admit defeat. I will not be able to use this planner anymore. But this is what it looks like. It's super cute, like very Disney themed, Mickey and Minnie themed. And the pages are like this, and it's pretty much what it looks like every week. So it has like the Mickey heads. There's a picture of Mickey and Minnie that looks like that every single week. And it says important tasks this week. It has like a little section that's grid, and then a section that's like a to-do list. That's how I've been using it. And it of course is a vertical layout. And so it looks like that every week. It does have a quote on one of the weeks. And so, yeah, that's what it looks like. So this is the August divider. It's super cute. Again, I love this planner. It's just that I just don't need a weekly layout for my personal planning. Like this one's so cute. I love that divider, right? And then here is the October divider, Mickey and then Minnie. That's just so cute. I love that pattern, right? And then November looks like this. Create your own sunshine. And then December says life is meant for good friends and great adventures. So I love that. Okay, so with that being said though, I just won't be able to use this planner. So or like the weekly pages, what I am going to do is save all of the dividers One of the things I do like to do is, even though I'm not using the dividers, I like to just keep it, or like even though I don't plan to go back into this planner for the rest of the year, I'm going to keep it in here just in case I do, for whatever reason, like maybe in October, I'm just like, okay, I'm done with like the big planner for a while. I'll come back here and use it. So I will save these pages in here until the month is over, and then I'll start pulling stuff out. And so that's what I tend to do, is like I go ahead and plan for the next basically 18 months. So I have a July through December of 2022 here. Although I don't anticipate using this because of my big happy planner, I will have it ready in case I do want to use that. So that is my classic personal catch-all. Here is my social media planner. All right, again, this is a random set of discs and covers. The cover here is actually flipped inside out. So this is what it actually looks like on the outside. I love this cover. And then I made this Wild University cover just at the beginning of Wild University. And it's just so cute. I love the look. I printed it on vellum and then I just layered it with it. I just love the look of that. All right, and then here, what I have is, again, this is actually a random set of like outdated dividers. They obviously don't match, you can see that. But what I ended up doing was I had initially used several other versions of a color block. I've used all sorts of stuff for social media. But what I ended up doing was at some point purchasing a Jungle Vibes color block layout on clearance. And so I stuck in the Jungle Vibes layout. So this is what this looks like. It comes with 6 boxes for each day. And then the weekend is a little bit different, but I just kind of carry over the row, even though it's not like drawn out like that. I just carry it over. And that's what it looks like every week, right? So this is what I've been using for social media. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, I really don't, some weeks I don't do anything for social media. Some weeks I'm like jam-packed and I want to record like 30 videos. So it really just depends on my mood and how I'm feeling. And so it just makes more sense for me to like look at that type of stuff in conjunction with my personal planner. And so this is why I'm going to essentially retire this planner as well for 2022, July 2022, moving into 2023. But these dividers are from the student planner, the Target student planner. These are the same dividers that I have set over here as well. But again, even though I'm retiring it, I'm going to keep it here. Like I anticipate retiring it, but just in case I do want to use it, I'm going to have it all set up here. And so this is No Act of Kindness, No Matter How Small, Is Ever Wasted, the August divider, again, outdated. This one, Be True to You, Shine Bright, Kindness Counts, Know Better, Do Better, Kindness Counts. This one, Kindness is Free, Sprinkle That Stuff Everywhere. And then One Kind Word Can Change the World. And again, I don't anticipate using this planner, but it is set up in case I change my mind and decide to go back in a random month for it. And so what I'm going to do is actually combine these two things first of all, and then what we're going to do is move into setting up for 2023, because I do have a plan for that, and want to be aware and just plan for what I plan to do starting in January of 2023. So first things first, I actually really love this cover and this set of dividers. And what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all this stuff off. I actually didn't need to take all this off, but I will just take it all off. I'm pulling off 3 covers at one time, so it takes a little bit of work here. Probably should have done it one at a time, right? And I really love this cover set right here, but this one was my custom, so I feel like I have to use this. Should I leave it like this? I'm just gonna leave it like this. Like, even though it says Wild University, like I just pulled it off, but I'm literally just putting it back on. Even though it says Wild University, it has my name. I just really like it. I love purple. It's my favorite color. I just have always loved the look of this planner. So even though I literally just pulled it off, I'm just putting it right back on. Okay, sorry for that. Ignore the past 30 seconds. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take this stuff then and move it into here. And that's pretty easy. I just pull it off month by month. And the order of my Franken planner right now is that my personal catch-all section does go before social media. There are a couple of sections in between, but just to have it be consistent, at least in my mind, I'm gonna put the personal stuff first, and then it's gonna be followed by the social media. And again, I don't anticipate using these 2 sections of my planner for the rest of 2022. But just in case I change my mind, I will already have it ready and it will be here ready for me to go. And then, like, for example, once July rolls around and I'm still in love with my Big Happy Planner and I decide to stick with that as my kind of permanent monthly system, or not permanent, but like once I stick with that as my system for the month of July, then I'll just come in here and take out these July months and put them back on the shelf to be used at some point later in the future. That's what I do. I like to at least keep the pages here though, ready to go. So that way I know that I have the supplies on hand. Right, so I have moved those 6 months over. And so now it's 6 months of my personal catch-all, which I don't anticipate using, and 6 months of my social media planner, which again, I don't anticipate using, and that's ready to go. This, now that it's just an empty cover and discs, I will break apart. Covers get stored with covers, discs get stored with discs, and these are my white metal discs. So these white metal discs I like to keep in like a little plastic bag, and I just stick in with all my white metal discs. So that's where that goes, and then this goes with my covers. All right. So now that I've spent, like, I feel like already a ton of time talking about like what I'm doing for these, now we have to get started with 2023. All right, and so 2023 will be back here. Now, as I've already mentioned, my goal here is to combine personal catch-all with social media. It just, to me, I'm at that point of my life where it just makes sense to me, where they don't necessarily have to be separated. And so what I'm gonna do is, just to start off with, I'm gonna pull this set of dividers. These should look very familiar because I showed you at least 6 months of it. But what I'm gonna do to start off with, they're kind of mixed up here. Like, what is happening here? All right, here's December. Here's some August pages. Like, they should be organized like this. I'm hoping now that I have enough dividers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm missing a set. So let me run and try to grab, let me see which month I'm missing. All right, so January's here. I'm missing February, March, April, May, June. July's right here. July, August, September, October. This should be November, December. Okay, so I'm missing February. I'll be right back. So I must have used all of my February dividers. And so what I ended up doing was pulling this February divider. This is from another different planner, one of the teacher planners that I got from Walmart. And it is an August start as well. And so the February tab will go in the correct position. So it will be January as the second tab, and then February will be the third tab. All right, and so what I'm gonna start off with is pulling out a set of dividers. Like, I have been trying to use this set of dividers for forever, right? So January and February. And so this is really where I do not necessarily need to see the divider, the picture on the divider. I'm just trying to use up some of these supplies, right? And so where is March? March is here. This might be kind of a little bit messy, but this is really how oh, here's February right here. All right, found it. Okay, let me remove this one then and put this one in here. February, March, April. I was wondering why I had so many of everything else and like 0 of February. April. Okay. May. You're probably asking how I ended up with so many of these dividers. These were from the Target Student Planner, where they released a like limited edition set of like rainbow metal discs that were like just this super bright, beautiful color. Some of the colors in that set have still not been released separately. So one of the colors is like this bright primary green metal disc that just has not been released in any like by itself. And so I purchased multiple versions of this planner so that way I don't like rainbow sets really. And so I wanted to purchase at least 9 to be able to create a set. But clearly I purchased more than 9. I probably purchased 27. And I know that's like ridiculous, but I purchased enough to get 3 sets of each of the colors. I really wanted the red and the green. And so you can call me ridiculous if you want to, but that's literally what I did. And so now I have 27 of these planners to use up. And this is why I need to use it up instead of purchasing planners all the time. I'm at this point much more like aware of my supplies and less, I guess, crazy about like going going like fanatic with buying all the things, right? But here we go. I've got the set. I'm actually, like, I've got my planner here, and normally I would just stick this in here. Maybe I still will. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this in here just so we can see what we're doing. But these are, of course, outdated pages, right? And what we're gonna do is redate them, is what I think. I actually don't know if I will need, well, no, I think if this is gonna be my personal catch-all planner, I'm gonna have to use these, right? So what I'm gonna do is just redate these pages, right? And so what I ended up doing, so those were the dividers. This is an extra divider there. So what I ended up doing was also pulling these pages. Now these pages are like the student planner, the pages themselves, but it's the pages with the monthly on it, right? And so what I'm gonna do is, I guess I didn't really need both sets. I really only need one set. Let's see where we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to January, and we're just going to, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? I'm just gonna stick a random page in there. Right, so I'm just gonna stick a random page in here. I think that's what I'm just gonna do, right? And so I'm gonna alternate between these two. Like, I have a stack here and a stack here, and I'm just gonna alternate between them just to keep the piles kind of even, although it doesn't really matter. At this point, you can see it's outdated. The numbers don't even match, right? But I will, month by month, just go through and redate this. It'll be part of my like setup for each month. And again, like, this is my plan going into the year 2023, but I may or may not even use it fully, completely. And so even though this past year, like in 2021, for 2022, I actually set up the entire 12-month period, I ended up not using it. So it's just smarter for me to set it up without doing all the redating. And as I go through each month, like, just redate as I go through. Right, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and set this up like this. And I don't need to plan this far into the future. What I do need to do is use my future log, which are like the pages at the very beginning of each of the happy planners. And I use that to track all the big things that are coming up. So that's how I kind of pre-plan, if that makes sense. And so this will be something I just do each month. All right, so I now have at this point, like the divider and a monthly, like for each month, January through December, and it will be for 2023, right? And so that is done. That's what I use those pages for. Dividers are done as well. The only other thing I have are these things, right? And so this, I'll just stick all of it into January. I have enough of these pages to last me basically 2 years. Now, what are these pages? These are pages from Tool. Let me actually pull a set that hasn't been cut down. So, like several years ago, in 2020 sometime, my sister actually gifted me several big just big items, including this tool set. And these are daily pages. So you can see here that they're from like January 2020, like super old. And it is a daily on 2 pages. Like, I know, like some of this is not even in screen because I'm so close here, but it has like the date information at the top and then a daily schedule, and it's broken down from 6:30 until basically 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, which to me is perfect. I love being able to like see like an entire day like that. And then on this side, it has a to-do list, a checklist kind of thing, and then a notes section. Now, I did this in a video like probably several months ago. I don't remember exactly when, but I did cut down this planner so that way it's classic size. And so after cutting down at least a set of it just for a month, I realized that it is like perfect, right? So I cut it basically in this corner. And if you cut in this corner, so there are a couple of things that you lose, right? You lose the notes, you lose to-do list, and you lose the dated portion of it, which to me is exactly what I wanted to get rid of, right? And so that's what I lost on this side, right? And then on this side, since I cut it this way, right? Again, the only thing I lose is the dated portion and then a little bit, like an inch of the lines, which to me makes total sense. I'm a classic size girl, generally speaking, now that I've been with Happy Planner for forever, right? And it just made sense. It was a way of like basically getting rid of the dates, and I lost just a little bit of information, right? So to me, it was perfect. So what I decided to do was cut down, like, she gifted me like, I think 2.5, almost 3 full packs, like 3 years worth. She purchased it for like 50 cents when it was like on super clearance at Office Depot. So Tool is the Office Depot discount line. So she purchased it on super discount. The problem is I was trying to use it as a big and it was just too big. But when I cut it down to classic size, I feel like this will be manageable for me. Now, this might not be my system like the entire 2023, but I do anticipate, like plan to start off at least with using this. And so I've cut down enough for at least a year. And so we'll see how this goes. But what I'm gonna do is just stick this in here. Now, just to show you in January. Okay, so here's the divider, here's the monthly, which I do need to redate and just like get rid of I need to get rid of this, right? But definitely need to redate it. And then what I'm gonna do is take this page and tape it together. So it's gonna be monthly, daily. That's how I plan, is monthly and daily. Weekly pages are not my thing. I mentioned that early, like super early in this video. Hopefully you're still here with me. But I now have it set up to where I have enough pages for every day, and it is a day on 2 pages. And I think that's plenty of room. Like, I think I should be able to cover all of my personal things, all the to-do lists, stuff that I need, all the social media stuff that I need. I have journaling space, I have writing space. I can do all the things in this, right? If I need additional pages, I could just add them in here. There's nothing wrong with like just sticking a page in between this and just like continuing to like write what I need to, right? Some days, again, I take a ton of notes, or like I'm super motivated, so I do all the things. And some days I am not, and I just want to sit back and do nothing, you know? And that's totally okay for me. And I have learned to go with my ebbs and flows. So that's pretty much the setup, okay? So let's do a full flip through of what we've got going here. So this is the wrong portion. Let me flip it like this. All right, so this is my cover that I made on vellum, laminated, with a set of covers just to give it some watercolor effect in the back, a set of random lavender metal discs from the Happy Planner, and inside are 2 different planners that actually 3 that I've kind of blended together into 2 different sections of my current system. So the first is the Mickey and Minnie, which is a vertical layout, looks like this. I also have random dividers, same set of dividers I'll be using in 2023, but these dividers here, which kind of mark off the Jungle Vibes color block layout that I use for social media. So it alternates between personal catch-all and social media. And so I'll show you at this point the personal, social media with the Jungle Vibes pages, my personal, my social media, Jungle Vibes pages, personal, social media, personal, social media. I don't like it when the tabs are like behind each other like that, right? Personal, social media. And again, the social media pages are like the Jungle Vibe color block, right? Now, I don't anticipate using those months. Again, I am in a big right now. It has been working for me at least for a month. And so I don't anticipate going back to these pages, but if I do go back to them, I have them ready for July through December of 2022. And then starting in January of 2023, I will be using a random like outdated set of dividers. This is from the Target Student Planner, as well as its corresponding monthly page. I will redate this, and then take these 2 pages together and move into the tool pages that I have started to cut down. And I will use this as a daily on 2 pages to cover all of my personal catch-all, like major work events, as well as social media. And this will just be a page to journal, write out all the notes, do all the things here. And so this will be a very functional planner moving into 2023. I am a fairly functional planner anyway, but this will be my functional planner. It will be switching at this point from my big Happy Planner, which is set up very similarly to this, and just going into a classic size for 2023. And I put all these pages right now in January. If I use that many in January, then I'll just add more pages. They're just sitting on a shelf waiting for me. But if I don't use that many pages, I will just take this set of pages and move it to where they belong. And it will just go from like that, right? So, but I do have all of January set up right here. February is ready to go, at least for the monthly. The March is set up. April is set up. May is set up. All the way until December. So you've seen these dividers. I guess I'll just flip through it very quickly just so you can see it. October, November, December, the end. Okay, so that is my personal catch-all slash social media setup. It is now set up for July 2022 until basically January 2023, with the knowledge that I have the additional pages, the additional daily tool pages that I've cut down to classic size ready for me. I do have a full year's worth. It's just not going to be able to fit in here, but I do have it ready to be put in here. So it is, although all the pages aren't in here, it is planned for July 2022 all the way until December 2023 for personal and social media. So that is my video. These videos have been very long just because it takes me a while to set up my planners, and for at least these like July setup videos, I wanted to talk you through the entire process of how I do everything instead of just setting it up and then walking you through after it's all done. So you get to see all the mess, all of like me thinking out loud and seeing the process. So I do hope you enjoy that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. I have a couple more like setup slash talking you through what I have planned for 2023 videos. So make sure you're subscribed to see the future videos that I have for my July 2022 through December 2023 videos. Those are going to be coming up very soon on my channel. And until the next video, bye guys.